everyone. In this video, we're going to learn how to get an account at GitHub and start using Git with GitHub. In this video, specifically, we're going to learn how to create a new account in GitHub, how to download GitHub Desktop, how to download that GitHub using GitHub Desktop onto your local system, and then finally how to make some changes to that repository and then push those changes back out. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing you're going to do is you're going to navigate to github.com. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do sign up in here, or you can also sign up for one right here. So I'm going to click on the sign up right here. My username is going to be Kronos Coders Test. And then the email address is going to be whatever email address you decide to use. So in my case, I am going to use a additional my email address there, and then finally a password that you're going to use. Now I'm going to use a random password that I use from 1Password in there. Okay, now that I've entered in my password, the next thing you need to do is you need to verify that you are a real person. And this is rather funny. I guess you need to do that. I have not seen this one. This is new. That's a pretty funny CAPTCHA, I've got to admit. Go ahead and hit create account. Create a new one. What kind of work? Fill out some the information that you may need to do here. I don't think you need to do this, but go ahead and click on student. You're probably not familiar with programming at all, and then at least click those three right there. And then the language, make sure you type in Python, and then complete your setup there. So now you'll have to verify your email address. This out. All right, now that your email has been verified and you're ready to go, let's get a little bit of exploration of what GitHub is. So GitHub is a central repository for your projects. And when you say a repository, think of it as a place that you save things online. The interesting thing about Git and GitHub is you have the ability to do version control. And I'm going to do another video about specifically configuration management and version controls in there. But that's what was really kind of neat about this. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is create a repository in there. So let's go ahead and do that. In this, you can create, you can do start a new project and click create a repository here. Or the other place you can do is go to your main hub, or sorry, the main homepage for GitHub after you've signed in, and then click create repository here. Either way, you'll be presented with this right here. You'll have owner right here, and this may be either yourself or any other organizations you may be associated with. And then repository name, the first one I always like to do is just Scratchpad. And you're going to use this to just be a place to play around with. Next up, you're going to click and make sure that it's public or private. So public means that anybody on the internet can see this repository, or you can do a private one, which means that only you can see what's being committed to the repository. I like to initialize my repositories with a README. The git ignore already has a template for Python, and you're going to create that. A license, you really don't need to worry about that right now. And then finally click Create Repository. Okay, now that you have your repository, you have that already there to go. And you can see that it's already been populated with some files that are inside of it. So this is actually your repository, and you'll be able to access it using the github.com/your username and then the repository name with a slash in between each one of those. That's there. We're going to dismiss GitHub Actions right now. We're not going to talk about that. And what we are going to do now is get GitHub Desktop. So we're going to search for GitHub Desktop in our browser, and you're going to go to desktop.github.com. You're going to download for Windows and install it. I think mine's already installed. Once you see the installer launching, you're going to get it launched up right here. So since I'm already logged in, I already have a bunch of repositories that are signed in here. What you're going to need to do is sign in to the GitHub Desktop application. When it first pulls up, you'll see how to sign into that. You'll sign in with the same credentials that you have that you did to create your GitHub account. Now, what you're going to want to do is download your custom repository. So we can do it two different ways. We can do it from here where we say clone or download, and we can do open in desktop like this, and it'll pull up the desktop app. Oh, it looks like it didn't detect that I was there. Or we can also clone from this. We can do clone repository. So file, then clone repository. I know what it is. It's because I'm signed in under my other account. So let's restart this back up. Okay, started. Now that you have your repository, let's go back to okay, let's start over here. So now that you've signed into your, or sorry, now that you've created a GitHub, let's do this. There we go. Great. Now that you've created your repository and you have that there, or let's go back. Actually, now that you've installed sorry, 3, 2, 1. There's actually two different ways that you can which is clone and then open in desktop like this. And then you'll be prompted how to launch that application, and you're going to open it up, and then it'll open it up like this, and you'll be able to then clone it there. I'm going to cancel this. You can also do File, Clone Repository in the GitHub Desktop app. Select over GitHub, and then search for your repository. So Scratchpad. Let's refresh. There we go, Scratchpad right there. We're going to clone that like that. And then now it's going to have downloaded in there. So the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to show in Explorer like this. You can see there's some of those same files that were initialized there are there before. I'm going to open up this README with code. I'm going to make a small change to this. My area to play around with. I'm going to save this change. Open back up GitHub Desktop, and you can see it detected that there was a change. I want to make that change, push that out to the GitHub repository. So I'm going to click on that, make sure that this arrow is clicked on. I'm going to leave a little comment that says updated README with more detail. I'm going to commit this to master. So that saved my state. Then finally, I'm going to push to my origin and have that pushed out onto there. And once this is completed, now we can go back to this, refresh the page, see that 18 seconds ago a change happened, open this up, and look, something changed. Now, what if we have changes that we pushed out from one computer to another computer? Well, let's say we make a quick change to this. We see that this wasn't capitalized, so I'm going to change this. Change my notes here. I'm going to say fixed spelling error. Commit changes. And now the online version of the repo is ahead, or has a version ahead of the version that's on my desktop. So if I open this back up again and I click Fetch Origin, you'll be able to see that changes have been pulled in. Now I click Pull Origin, and there you go. We have the changes. If I pull up my GitHub, you can see to a capital T. So there you have it. That's how you create an account in GitHub, how to create a repository GitHub Desktop on your system to clone a repository, and then also start making changes and push those changes and receive those changes on your GitHub repository. Thanks for checking out this video. Hopefully it's helpful to you. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter, or feel free to leave some comments in the comments below.